Do you know how to change the oil on your 4-liter RSQ8? Well, I don't either, but here's how I did it. Now we're going to have to get to the oil filter, which is underneath this cover. So what we're going to do is I'm going to show you how to get the cover off. In here, right here, on each side is a tab. Right here. And all you do is put your finger in or a screwdriver and pull down. We're going to do that on the other side. You want it to lift up, so we've lifted the tabs. We're going to unscrew our oil cap, move that out of the way, and then the airbox cover will pull right up, and then we pull it directly out. So we've removed the lid of the airbox, and what we want is this whole apparatus, the entire lower part of the airbox, we're going to have to remove it. And the best way to remove that looks like I'm going to remove some of these plastic pieces here. Looks like this is a pull-up tab, and it's just a grommet that comes out. I've removed the push tab here, removed the hood latch. This part right here is the hood latch. I have a broken one of these, but if to take the hood latch off, right, this is the hood release, there's a button in the back. See where my finger is? Right in here, this pushes in. So we push in on the top part, but also note the orientation of the cogs and then the cutout on the actual handle itself. This is going to be helpful for when you reinstall it. It only wants to go on one way. Move this tab here, here, and here. And after we've done that, this whole apparatus comes up and out. And now we've exposed the next level. So we are going to go, and from here, these are plugged into our airbox. We're going to simply remove this and now pull this out of the way. So I've gotten this far. Let me do a little investigating and I'll check back in. What I found out was there are no other electrical connections to this to the airbox, but right here on this side is a flathead. Let me get the light in there. Is a flathead 7mm and flathead 7mm screw for going and making it so these inlet pipes can be loosened and pulled away from the airbox. On the side here, there's a pressure interference fit grommet, 1, and then 2. And then after you pull that out, you're going to be able to get to everything. I would say this is a great time because with these inlets open, those go directly to the turbochargers that are sitting right there. So now's a great time to take a minute and get yourself a shop rag, an old t-shirt, and make sure it's free of any dust or debris. And you want to stick them in here to make sure that while we're doing the rest of this, nothing goes down in there, because on the other side of that is your turbocharger. I'm going to do that right now and check back in. Okay, so we are going to need to remove this cross member here to get to the oil filter, which is located directly beneath that bar. We've got some T30 screws, 1, 2. We're going to want to remove this one, 3, 4, and then we're going to want to remove this one as well. But it looks like we have an airbag sensor that's kind of holding on here. So what I'm going to do now, in all my videos I do a few extra steps. Some comments of, well, you didn't need to do that many steps. Maybe, but I'd rather do more and then have you decide whether you wish to do that or not. So we're going to want to remove these side panels right here. Relatively easy. These are these interference fit tabs. This one was a little bit lighter fighter broken. I left the other one over here so I could do a live removal so you could see. It's just, you're just pulling straight up and then they are revealed. And if you wanted to, I think what we're doing is we can always unplug the sensor, but it looks like it's going to allow us, if we wanted to get in here and remove the grip type clamp that's on there. I'm just going to see how hard it is to remove this. Looks like this is a red pull down tab. I'm holding the camera so this isn't as easy as you'd think. And I didn't pre-do this here, so let's zoom in. Pull the tab back, push on the tab. Where's the... oh. And unplug. Love new cars. Man, get the older cars and 1,500 heat cycles and you'd be finding new swear words and foreign languages. Same thing. We're going to pull the red tab out and remove this, and then we're going to remove those T30s. I'm sorry. Remove those 6 T30 bolts and go from there. Alright, so we're getting this last T30 bolt out of here. That's out. We're going to pull the tab out, slide our clip off, and it looks like we're going to want to roll this bar back. So we are going to just basically pick this up and roll it right back. Back out of the way. I think we could have left these plugged in, but that's alright. And then let's see, we're going in here to get to our oil filter, which is right, wait a minute, right there. What is this? Wow. This wasn't even, how about that? Well, no check engine light or anything. This right here isn't even connected. Wow, I'm gonna have to look into that. Alright, so let me take a look at what else is going on and check back in. Alright, so here we go. Remember that old 32mm socket you had laying around that thought you'd never get any use out of? Well, today's your day. Get it on there, and then we're gonna give her a little bit of a loosen here. There you go, probably a lot tighter than it needed to be. So we're gonna loosen that up, and once we get this loose, should be able to just pull this out. I got another mechanic's rag, because after we pull this filter out, obviously we're going to want to replace it, but I'm going to leave this open until after I drain the oil. So we've loosened this up, and there you go. Set it right there. We'll take a look at it and go from there. Gonna cover this up so we don't get anything. Okay, so we are under the car, and it's always a little bit hard when you're under the car. I have a lift, but my wife's car is getting upgraded turbos, so okay, so here we go. We've got to get what looks like this carbon fiber underbelly pan off. So let me show you what we got. Right? T25, 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 and they follow around until we get to this is T30s. So if we count, we have 1 T25, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Where's my pointer? There we go. 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, and then 2 T30s. Let me get to that and I'll check back in. Hopefully this carbon fiber belly pan will have come off. All right. So we got all of the screws out. And here's the pan. Right, like I said, it's a little bit difficult because my camera only zooms out so much. So here's the belly pan. Right, terrible camera work. Here is the carbon fiber belly pan. We've dropped that. And then here is for the oil change. I'm going to check on that, and I'm going to get right back with it. Okay, this is a T45. And go ahead and drain out your T45. And I don't know if you can see this, but this washer right here, we're going to want to replace this washer. On my Q7 and my A8, it's a crush washer. This one's a bit different, but while the oil's changing, we're going to dry the plug off and get our new washer. Okay, so now we're at the end. I was speaking to you about the gasket. It's like a crush washer gasket that goes in over the drain plug. And here's the old one. I'm sure it's really difficult to see in the lighting, but it's crushed quite a bit. And I know it made a difference on my wife's A8 and then the Q7. The oil filter, I was looking at it, doesn't appear to be a top or bottom kind of thing. Looks like this is a pretty simple remove, replace. Most kits come with the rubber gasket right here. That's what this is. We're going to take a pick tool and pull this old gasket out, and we're ready to put it all back in. Okay, so we're pretty much finishing everything up. And I don't know how common this is, but on the removal of the front bar, I noticed that this was broken. Did a small repair. I don't know how common that is, but I didn't get any lights. I went and checked. No error codes, no anything. Anyway, so the last bit here, 8 quarts of oil. I did find this. This is where you can, if you pull this out and you have a dipstick, you can manually check and see how much oil's in there. See if I can find a dipstick Checked the one out of my Gen 2, or my first Gen 4 liter, and it didn't seem to reach. So anyway, there we go. I'm gonna get this together and put some oil in it. So that's how I did it.